And
All right. I'm just getting started here. Hang on. So let's see, participants. We have participants.
At the mayor's meeting, how many people were on Zoom, do you remember?
About 10 or 11.
Okay.
It's like we have a couple people on board. I'm experimenting with something else where when it records, it'll actually generate a transcript for us too, a written transcript. So that's what I was setting up here. So let's see. Let's do that. And recording is going on, I believe. It is. Okay, let's open the meeting. Call to order.
Order.
Roll call.
Alan,
Yes.
Rod,
Yes.
Steve,
Present.
also present. Quorum met.
Okay. Motion to approve the February 9th draft minutes.
I want to make a note,
Oh,
because the February 9th draft minutes contain within the charter for the section 3. And I would like to propose that under the purpose of the committee is research, document, explore the status of these lots, and update their relation to the LCA. I want to add, while paying due respect to Native Hawaiian cultural sensitivity and heritage.
is that last part the part that's different?
He's adding something
Yes.
else. We already approved it as it was. You can't change the charter once we've approved it.
Okay, I just went on record, I asked for it.
So was there a,
That was up.
what's that?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So
You gonna make a motion?
I already just made a motion to do the draft minutes for February.
Second,
I'll approve them as they were.
Yes.
Good. All right. We also put out the mayor's meeting on February 22nd. That's been published. Motion to approve the February 22nd special mayor's meeting minutes.
You said meeting minutes, I didn't see minutes. I didn't see the Zoom. The Zoom qualifies as far as I'm concerned. Is that what you meant, the Zoom?
The minutes have been too.
Oh, couldn't find those. Okay.
But yeah, she was a little slower with that for some reason. I'm not sure
Second.
why. So what's
I'm
that?
good with it.
I agree.
Yeah, it's okay. And of course, this is the March 9th board meeting. Motion to approve the agenda.
I would like to be able to add something under old business concerning the annual meeting.
You mean the members meeting?
Yes.
I was going to address some of that during the presidential statement. So,
As long as I can see a little bit. I'm
yeah,
fine.
if I miss something, yeah, I think that's fine. So,
Can we also add new business?
we have to ask her. She made the agenda.
We can add new business. Can we get to passing this and then we'll add your new business?
Okay, that's fine.
Please. Okay. Somebody second this?
I'll second it with the new business on there.
Okay, I'm good.
Agreed.
I made a motion, so it's good. Okay.
All right, what is the new business?
Well, when we get there, I have two motions to submit.
Put it on
Concerning-
8.
If you just put new business when we get there, I'll explain it.
Why don't we go
Questions
through
and
the
answers and
committee
new business.
reports and old business, and then we'll get there. Committee reports, architectural.
We had one new set of plans approved. Congratulations, Alan, your building has been approved.
That was nice.
And as far as the CCNRs, as I get complaints, I've been sending out letters. So,
Okay. That's all on architectural?
Mm-hmm.
Section 3, committee report?
We have a full board now, our committee now. It is Chris Burmeister, Mark Honio, Jim Penny, Pam Pizina, Keith Dalton, and myself. And we're kind of waiting on some stuff from the Lord before we can get going too far with that.
I have a request.
Go ahead.
At the mayor's meeting, you said, I want this to be completely a two-way communications, fair to everybody's wants. If you go to Robert's Rules, Article 9, Committees and Boards, Section 52, first paragraph, this is defined as a special or select committee appointed for a special purpose. That defines what you have. The second paragraph, members of the society have a right to appear at the committee meetings, present their views on the subject before it, and at such reasonable times as, upon request, the committee may appoint. In the fourth paragraph, the rules of the assembly, as far as possible, apply to the committee, but motions to close or limit debate are not allowed, and there is no limit to the number of times a member may speak. It's basically requesting that we have an agenda, a notice of the meeting, and that you do minutes.
We're going to do minutes, but all we did with the last one was telling people who was on and just kind of giving them an idea where we're starting. There hasn't been any business conducted yet.
Correct, but I'm asking for some kind of notice of the meetings, because I have the right to attend.
Yes, once we get them scheduled, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let's,
I have my notes on there, you're welcome to have them. That's all I had.
Anything else on section 3?
no,
Okay. Treasurer's report. Steve?
Okay, so we've got the balance sheet, we've got money in the bank. When's the last time we had an audit?
And I know of 2020. They had like 13 points in which they complied with maybe one petty cash.
Yeah, I don't think we had one in 2021 and 2022.
Okay, we've got, like I said, we've got plenty of money in the bank for a change. We haven't had a professional audit done in quite a while. I'd like to make a motion that we get an audit done. We've prolonged it for long enough, it needs to be done.
Yeah, I'm thinking back then, they predicted it was gonna be 13, and ended up costing 6,000. Some of you remember that?
Somewhere in that range, I think.
So we're looking,
I budgeted $7,000 for it.
I think we should do it.
yeah, 7 grand. Now, if it's significantly over,
Right.
we may have to come back to the trough, but
We'll
yeah.
authorize it for that much. So is there a motion
Like I
to
said,
do that?
Yes.
I'll second.
You think it'll be Garbanero, or?
No, I want to use someone that we haven't used before.
Very good. Yeah, I agree with that.
I want a complete impartial third party. I can't be, per the charter and bylaws, I can't be part of the audit in any way, shape, or form, or Kim.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I third it. Great idea.
So we're good?
Cool, thank you.
All right. Hey, backing up a minute, for some reason I skipped the presidential statement. I skipped myself, I'm not sure how to do it. So let's go back and cover that, because I had a couple of things to cover. The members' meeting is coming up a week from Saturday on the 18th, 1 o'clock in the pavilion. People have been turning in their proxies. Chance of reflecting, compiling all those results. Obviously, you vote if you turn in a proxy if you're in good standing, or of course you could just come to the meeting. But if you want to vote, you have to be in good standing. So that's the members' meeting, annual members' meeting. So that's coming up. It's all but on the web page. It'll be on Zoom. The link has already been provided. So
you want me to talk about that now?
just second. Yeah, just second.
Member in good standing is defined as current in dues,
Yes.
Correct.
including 2023 dues?
For the board members, yes.
Okay.
No, for everybody.
Because it's not due until April 1st or something?
No, March 1st.
It's due already.
Yeah,
It's past due.
okay.
And for them to be present at the meeting and have a vote, they have to be current on their dues. Per the bylaws, they have up until 7 days before the meeting to pay up. If they wait till like the 6th day before the meeting,
So if anyone hasn't paid and wants to vote and come to the meeting, they can do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow's last day?
That would be 8 days before, so yes. Steve said it had to be 7 days before, so. Is that right?
Is it not necessary in the bylaws to notify people that are not compliant to give them an opportunity?
no.
Okay.
We billed everyone, so,
So they would know.
yeah.
Via the bill.
Paper,
Makes perfect sense.
paper bills were sent out,
Good.
so. People come, anyway, Rod.
So it's basically a duplicate. Everybody had got that in the mail with their proxies. And it was a reminder, only members in good standing may cast votes or act as proxies. Good standing means not delinquent payment of any annual dues. Any related one in violation of the CCRs may not be nominated or serve as a board member. Make sure you understand that came from Article 3 meetings of our bylaws, Section 6, voting. At every meeting, member in good standing shall be entitled to vote. Any member who is in default in the payment of any lot assessments shall not be a member in good standing, and while he may attend meetings, he should not be entitled to vote. The election schedule. This went out every month. It was agreed to by just about everybody on the board. The board had set up a February 22nd deadline, the last day for candidates to pay their dues by 4 o'clock. That is our section of vetting the board for positions. We had vetting for CCNRs. There's also vetting for dues. We'll make sure we stand. Save confusion in 10 days. I chose not to pay $200 dues on a lot of total value of $100. Considering there are 24 lots of value of $17,000 to $250,000, not required to pay dues. So effectively, pending a quorum and a new board on March 18th, I will be vetted off. It's the rules.
All right. Even though you did pay on your other.
Correct.
lots.
Yeah, the only question is the one lot that's only worth $100 versus some lots that are worth $248,000 that don't have to pay.
Which lot?
I gave a list before of 24. I can provide you that list
No,
again.
just what lot, do you know?
No, it's not. I have a whole list.
Because I thought we excluded that.
There's 24 lots worth from $17,000 to $243,000.
It's one of your lava lots, right?
My lava lot, correct?
Yeah, I thought we excluded that.
No, not that I know of.
That's under the J no pay.
No. Jay omitted 51 properties that are worth $100. Those 51 people cannot vote or participate.
Would not just their vote for that one lot be invalid, but?
No, because the Article 3 meetings, any member who is in default, the payment of any lot assessment shall not be a member in good standing. While he may attend meetings, he shall not be entitled to vote.
So is this your way of getting off the board?
It's my way of emphasizing the unequal structure of who does and doesn't pay dues. So, yeah, you will know that I had the pleasure of Rod.
Maybe we should have a Section 3 committee to figure this out.
Yeah, I think that's part of that. That's part of their charter to figure that out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what's
Can you let me know
what's
which
the current,
lot that is?
if the payment on a lot is in dispute?
I thought Kim and I in the office zeroed that one out with a couple others.
I was never made aware, and I paid the dues every year in protest, and this year I choose not to.
And you got an invoice on that lot?
No, I didn't.
You zeroed out.
If you weren't billed,
I'll have to look again. No, I didn't get any.
Yeah,
I didn't get anything in the mail. I'd come in and ask for the invoices.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, I have to look in my file at home.
that's,
I think you're zeroed out.
Well, the issue isn't just Rob. Rob's bringing up other people's issues, so.
There were a lot that were zeroed out. That should not be paying dues that were being billed.
No,
would
but
be
that's
considered-
still part of section 3, so you can't make a definitive on that yet.
That was done last year.
But we're going at realigning.
So take a look at that.
Can we move on? We'll get to that, but since we don't have everything in front
something
of
like
us.
that was a little bit in dispute, so, I don't, I can check, I can find out if you were actually billed or not, so. If you weren't billed, what do you owe?
Well, I just know.
Proper billing is a part of this.
I'll check with Kim tomorrow.
There's multiple issues here. What constitutes a quorum? If he wasn't billed, it doesn't count as a lot.
Yeah,
So it's more complicated than just
yeah, so,
not paying.
yes. All right, moving on. Old business, lot buyout, anything new there?
Yeah, most of my information came from the mayor's meeting. Brian Lay said there's 740 lava damaged lots in Leilani. I had counted 761, but of those, he said 370 applied for the buyout. There's been approximately 80 that have gone through and the people have gotten their money. He also wanted to know if I read 2/3 of the funds are spent or accounted for. So if we have a whole lot of properties that are unimproved, if you're way down at the bottom of the list, you might not be able to get around this round. There's a possibility of more money down the road. So what's important there is eventually there may be as many as 370, but I don't think it'd be that many. I think it'd be closer to 170. Not based on anything, just my gut feel.
I thought he said they had budgeted for 340 lots.
No, it was 370 applied for the,
Right, but they had approved and budgeted for 340 of those lots.
that's not how I understood it, and I watched the meeting a couple times. Concerning the lava lot buyout, coming up every time, I would suggest that under old business, it be moved or folded into the section 3 committee, because basically the one's going to be looking at that.
Okay.
That's just a suggestion, not a motion. So you make the agenda. That's all I have on that.
Okay. Cell tower negotiations? They're ignoring us?
The guy's a ghost.
Yeah, okay.
I called him again today.
We'll just repossess our cell tower until we pay, so,
I've been trying to I'll get hold of him.
I know. We'll start wrapping that up a little
Steve, are
bit.
they gonna have to pay in arrears?
They're current on their bill. They're current on the payments. They want to lease additional land to put more equipment out there.
They want to expand the,
On these 10 acres here?
yeah.
And
Well,
it's
run
about-
They want to double their footprint, put in another base station, and use the same tower.
So the negotiation is to increase the amount of money we,
Yes.
Well, their offer was $200 a month this time, but 6 years ago it was about $900 a month. But
So,
and they're hard to get a hold of.
Can we negotiate a dog park in there when they increase the size? A little gate, you know, people let the dogs go,
Do we
Building
charge
codes?
dogs an entrance fee?
whatever it is.
little cell tower radiation never hurt a dog, so never hurt them, so. Okay, legal update, there's a little bit of legal update. We last year we had Revere Associates that were running the lawsuit, and we had Barry, I forgot his name, who's our legal,
Kinman?
yeah, who's our legal counsel. Now the lawsuit's over, and Barry was wanting for personal reasons to wrap down what he did So we did talk to Rivera Associates, and they're back on board as our full counsel. And as part of that, we're bugging them because we get questions on the lawsuit settlement, and because those things were confidential. And they've provided some forms for us, some legal forms that we're finishing up. So we'll put the instructions out there. If any member wants to see the actual settlement agreement, they can. They'll have to, well, you can't do it quite yet. Give us another week, I think. They'll have to call Kim here, make an appointment. We'll set it up for her, and then they'll have to sign a form. It's some legal stuff, non-disclosure, that sort of thing. Can't take photographs, can't make copies, but they can come in and read it and see what it's all about. So we're setting that up. It's going to take probably another week or two. I do have all the forms, but I have to kind of go through them and modify some things so it's appropriate for what we're doing here. So.
Who's entitled to do that?
To look at it?
Member in good standing?
Members in good standing.
Anybody in the community.
I think everyone in the community can see it, so, yeah. I don't think good standing has anything to do with it. I don't know why it would, but, yeah, it's kind of like a corporation, you're all members. Members can see this sort of thing, even though it's confidential, but, you know, they're just not supposed to share, so. And because of that, they'll have to pick an appointment and have a specific time, so someone can be here to walk them through. So.
I agree with that.
So, yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, so. Yeah, so we did talk to them about that, and getting them on board to help the Section 3 committee with some other legal questions. So that process is all started.
Alan, I suggest that Kim only be the functionary. In other words, she simply hands the document, because there'd be a tendency to say, Kim, what does this mean?
No, she
doesn't understand.
We're gonna try to have someone else. She just organizes. She just makes the appointment, and we'll figure out who can. It may be one of us at a time to sit down and make sure they don't steal it, because it's very valuable. I mean, it's fantastic. Just for legal sakes to do it right. So yeah. So, no, Kim wasn't going to have to.
But people do tend to, badger her.
I know. So she's got enough to do right now. So she was just going to make the appointment this fall. So I think that's all on the legal updates for the old business. And there was a question earlier about new business. Why don't you go ahead? So.
New business, although this is unnecessary, in fact, because the member meeting and any votes taken therein are sacrosanct, absolutely. I don't want to hear anyone come or see someone come forward and say proper notice wasn't given, so I have two motions that we're going to be making at the member meeting, and I'd like the board, and I'll provide each of you with a copy. I'd like the board to post these, so there's in effect 10 days notice, or in excess of 10 days notice of these motions that will be brought up. If this one reads it. You want me to read these out loud?
Yes, please.
Motion to follow Hawaii County's recommended progressive steps of facilitation, mediation, arbitration by adding a clause to the CC&Rs to ensure that debilitating lawsuits can never again be brought by members, visitors, guests, or vendors against either the association or the board of directors. Finding arbitration to follow if facilitation and/or mediation efforts fail to resolve disputes.
Let me think of that.
Yeah, we talked about that last time.
I'm just not sure if we can add clauses to the CCNRs.
You can. I can show you two examples in the existing CC&Rs.
You can show me later if you want.
Okay, yeah, I brought the CC&Rs with me.
Well, I believe you, I just got to see it.
Okay.
Because I never saw that.
Yeah, I was wondering if it had to be change the bylaws. That's what I
I
thought.
know we can do the bylaws, I didn't think we could do CCNRs.
Yeah, I'll show you the two examples, or I can show you now if you like.
Right.
Well, if you can provide me that information, I'll take it home and study it. Because
And by the way, I got these from Kim. There's been commentary made in the past that the CCNRs were never modified. Clearly not true. Here's one. And Architectural Committee, I guess this is right here. 5, height, this is the original wording. This was added after lawsuits. And I'd have to find,
this is bylaw?
no, this is CCNRs. So that was modified, it's in addition to.
It was amended.
Yes, the CCNRs
And
were
you're
in.
talking about adding.
It's the same thing. This is just,
It was amended through a court action.
no, it doesn't. It says residences and other structures built into the lots. It says on that lot, finding of fact, therefore they put that in, but we can add to that and can add specific wording. It's not the lawsuit that required the revision.
I just want to reserve the right to
Okay,
study it.
please.
I guess the way I
Okay.
understand it, and then I'll get back to you.
Perfect.
If it's cool, then it's cool.
If not, we can put it in the bylaws, but I think the proper spot is in the CCNRs.
I can have this for a couple days?
Sure.
Second one?
Second motion. Motion to modify the CCNRs to reflect the board's decision as evidenced by the Leilani Community Association website, February 2007, that Article 5, height of house, will not be enforced unless the proposed structure would block another lot's ocean view. That was never disclosed in the last 2 years, but in point of fact, I have a copy right here, everybody's welcome to it, of the actual Leilani website as of February 2007, which clearly says that they're no longer enforcing it.
I think there was other things going around that, right? There was,
Pardon me?
there was already a legal definite, was there a legal definition of that too? Or a
Well,
challenge in
it
court?
actually ties back to what Rod has in here. There were lawsuits brought by people about building houses higher than. The county restriction on agricultural lots is 35 feet. We have in our CCNRs 18 feet. 3 people were sued when they submitted plans. One person actually backed out, the others went forward, but due to some decision, finding of facts by the court, this letter from the in-place president at that time of Leilani says, the board says we're not, because of the possibility of future litigation, we're not going to enforce house, well, it essentially says 2-story, which is the height issue. And so that's been voted on and in place by the board. And I'm simply making a motion that the members say, yes, that's what we want. You want to see this, Sue?
We're gonna have it for a couple of days.
You can have it forever. The print is quite small, but you can get to it.
You want to read me that?
Okay, you got one?
What year was this?
2007. Note that's significantly after the previously, quote, enforced issue of member in good standing or whatever.
Yeah, I know Richard Robbins, and I somehow thought it was further back, but I'll look it all up.
It's in the upper right-hand corner, February 12th, 2007. That's an actual image of the website, Leilani Community Association website at that time, on that day.
You understand, I'm gonna be the devil's advocate, and I'll tear this apart any way I can, and if you're right, you're right.
Please do.
Okay.
But my point here is, I'd like these I'm asking the board to post, these motions will be brought up so that under any circumstance, we collectively have provided at least 10 days' notice to the members that that's going to be brought up.
Got it.
So there's a notice on our website right now, the members meeting. You would like this add to that? What do you guys think? It's a members meeting.
Yeah,
You're just guaranteeing that,
Jim's just doing his due diligence, that it gets posted to the website 10 days prior, so everybody has notice, and I see no problem with posting this.
Okay.
It's a motion to
It's
put
motion to be
forth
brought
if we
by a
make,
member.
if we make quorum.
Giving people heads up is.
Thank you, Jim.
So,
Now, the reality is, just to be clear, at the meeting, someone else or several someone else's can bring up new motions that haven't been previously disclosed. And because the meeting in and of itself is sacrosanct, anything a member brings up doesn't require 10 days notice, but I just want to make sure that someone doesn't come back and say, oh, this is invalid because.
just covering all the bases.
And you know someone will.
So, as long as quorum is achieved, so.
Correct. That's a requirement. Thank you.
So you'd like it published exactly as it's written here?
As a draft, if somebody wants to debate or change a few words, Rod may come up with something. We'll-
Okay, all right. Okay, any more new business? Nothing else on the agenda,
No,
so we just move on to questions? So, go ahead, yeah.
I would like some clarification on what you said earlier about the attorneys being provided for the lava covered 3 lots. Was that Revere and Associates?
Yes.
And
We're
do you
we're
think-
looking at legally what,
But do you intend to pay the attorney out of the funds that are collected by dues from people who do not have lava covered lots to legally represent people who are paying?
this is
those?
representing everybody. This is trying to right the situation that was created at the time of the eruption. It's gotta be done and it's gotta be done right. I don't want to,
Do the other residents have a right to vote on if that's how the money is spent?
we have to have some freedom with legal representation. Every board has, it's just no way around it. We're gonna keep it
Is there
to,
a cap on the amount of
we're gonna keep
money?
it to the bare minimum that we can do, but we have to be able to ask them questions.
The members of the committee have have representatives of lava-covered lots and non-lava-covered lots. We're getting both ones. And anything they come up with has to be approved by the board, the recommendations. So we're being very careful on how we approach the lawyers. We're not going to ask them questions every day. We're going to be as minimal as possible on that. So.
I'm sorry, who again is on the level 3 committee lots?
not me.
Not you. Pam
People
has
on either
lava.
side of you,
Jim does not have lava.
Keith Dalton,
Heath has lava.
Mark Coneo,
Mark does not have lava.
and myself.
You do not have lava.
Correct.
But 3 of those people were in a business together before. So that kind of throws a wrench in the monkey wrench, or however you want to say it.
But we're not talking about business.
I'm just putting that out there.
Well, you said they were in business before. Do they still talk to each other?
I have no idea the relationships, I don't want to know, I'm just looking and thinking, okay, I'm glad I didn't get on that committee, but I do want to know what's going on.
That's not necessarily mean. So,
I think what she's saying is all of those people still have a vested interest in running a business out there.
Except for they're not running a business out there at the moment, at least Pam isn't running a business out
Pam is
there.
not,
She's not?
Heath is not.
I have proof otherwise.
I haven't seen it in 2 years.
Are you still having people?
I also have proof Chris is as well, and Heath.
But Chris and Heath are both lava lot people, they're not in business together. I'm sorry, but that's who the committee is at this point. We may add more later if we need
And
it.
to answer your question as far as paying legal fees, I don't want to give Revere any money if I don't
Yeah, that's
have to.
scary,
Yeah,
because
we
we
all-
just went through this huge lawsuit, it's like, whoa, could we be back
So
in that
we're
same
gonna keep
situation?
a tight control on correspondence to them and exactly what's gonna be discussed and what their role is. Hopefully, we could get most of the legal paid by the county. No, that's my goal, is to get the county to front the bill.
I think the county has kind of abandoned Leland Estates, they want us
It's-
all to look it
it's-
out ourselves, and that's why it's so important that we
Uh-huh.
don't have, that we have people from section up at the top that don't have any lot of things going on, or other people that aren't involved in tours and all this other stuff, so that we can get this all hashed out and it's fair.
And now you have 3 people who have business interests using that attorney.
They're not
They're
using.
not using the attorney.
They
I-
are-
They're advising the committee gets back to the board makes a recommendation, or they give the board a recommendation, we will talk about it and proceed from there. The people that have the business don't tell us what to do.
And they're not the ones that are gonna be in contact with the lawyer.
So if they have no vested interest to ask you those questions for their own benefit, why are they on the board?
Because we had to have representation of both lava and not lava lot owners.
Okay, thank you.
Just I'm gonna go ahead, there was a question on Zoom, and I don't know the answer to this. Dues assessment in 2021 and 2022 and before were due on March 31st.
That was an error.
What's that?
That was an error.
Oh, that was an error?
That was an error that they were due on March 31st. Per the bylaws, it says March 1st. I
So the
corrected
bylaws
it.
say March 1st and we corrected it.
Correct.
Okay. So we took a question online. Do you have another question?
No, just a comment about Revere and Associates.
Oh, yeah.
They represented either side of the LCA in a lawsuit,
Mhm.
but their expertise is acknowledged as being in condominiums and association kinds of issues.
Mhm.
In other words, their expertise is understanding what the legal ramifications and the laws are, and as opposed to using them to sue, which, by the way, in their agreement, you can't even sue them. They want binding arbitration themselves. So I just wanted that on the record.
Yeah.
The point is, if there's questions, can you do this and can you do that? That's where those lawyers whose expertise is in this area specifically come into play and say, no, that would be in violation of this or that. Or if you word it this way, it would be, that's proper use of the lawyer. And I think that's what you intend to do.
That's why we're having them as the corporate lawyer to advise us on the do's and don'ts.
And what Rod brought up earlier, which was very intriguing to me, is the committee, Lava 3 committee, should be open and people can attend and raise questions. And that provides a forum, much like this, where that question, or any question, if it's appropriate, can be discussed and when necessary, presented to the lawyer for an opinion.
And I have no problem with that.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any committee.
No more
should run
questions
like that.
online. Any more, is there any more questions here?
I have
No?
a question.
Do you have a question?
Do you have a statement you want to read?
Yes, once we get the other questions.
Okay, that was the
Okay.
last question.
Let's, this concerns, the previous board president. And there was a lawsuit going on, and I've been asked to read this statement. No comments, no questions, because I don't know anything. In the matter of Denny versus Best, it is our understanding a settlement has been reached, and a post concerning this will be placed on the LCA website when finalized. So, motion to adjourn.
Second that one.
Agreed.
Motion passes.
Great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Yay.
Alan, why is that last issue even LCA business?
The,
I didn't know yet, he made another lawsuit going on.
Well, I think it was a threat, I don't know.
What now?
I don't know where it got, but they just wanted to let everybody know there are no lawsuits against or involving Lay Lobby.
Not today, no.
Not yet. Let's keep it that way, guys, come on. Here. Here, easy.
See you later.
Bye, guys, thank you for doing what you do.
It's getting old.
You don't have to tell me.
Gotta stand up and back says, now down.
Okay, let's go ahead and